Not Sold Separately is brought to you by Brooke
and Erika, two inseparable 20-somethings who haven't run out of things to talk about since 2001.
From little girls playing dress-up to successful little sales reps, these two are ready to dish on dating,
Or lack thereof.
positivity,
Well, we try.
travel diaries,
Not without horror stories.
hot topics,
With hot takes.
and crawling up the corporate ladder.
Whether it's briefcases and stilettos or sweats and sneaks, this duo is sure to entertain,
We are here to remind you to take risks
build confidence,
and have fun because
it's just not that serious.
Hello
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
to the Not Sold Separately podcast. You know, me and Erica are both on the organization station of the train this weekend. We have been just tearing. I mean, really, you've been like this whole past couple of weeks.
I am like packing up every single belonging that I own, which luckily I'm coming from a family home, so I really just have to pack up my room and any other incidentals.
Thank
but
God.
it is such a massive undertaking. But my mom, luckily, what's that what was that?
Marie
organization?
Kondo.
Marie Kondo. That is my mother. Like she
is.
Marie Kondoing in this bitch.
She has lists out the asshole. Like
She is
She
like
was born
playing
for this.
Tetris in the bins, getting everything to fit. She
love
is
that.
fully on top of her shit.
I love
So
that.
I respect her. I hope to be like that one day. Legitimately, no other area of her life is organized. But when it comes to packing a home and or moving,
Yeah.
she's on top of her shit like a fly on shit. That's what she is.
No, she's on it. She has had that list literally since you were like applying to jobs. She was like fucking whittling away.
Yeah,
at that
and talk about
list.
packing. So like when we pack for vacations too, she has this ongoing pack
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
She's just so good with that kind of stuff.
Very good.
Every time
I-
on it says like bring the Disney pass, and I'm like, we're not going to Disney every time. So like,
Get
let's
the
just-
magic bands.
We're
Get
good.
the
Like we
magic
don't need that on
bands.
the list every time. But understood. Okay.
Yes, for the off chance not an off chance actually, that happens frequently. But
Yeah.
you know, when you need it, it's on that list.
Exactly.
I have been actually making a packing list on my iPad. So I got an iPad
She's
for
an
Christmas.
iPad
I'm
kid.
literally an iPad kid now. My sister also got one, so I asked her, I'm like, what's the app that
She
you've
has
been
an
like drawing
iPad
on?
pen or
Well,
pencil.
you have to have the pencil.
You have to.
I mean, why
You have to.
Why have an iPad if you don't have the pencil? So Tara got me on this app, and I like found a template for just like a checklist. So I've been like writing out because like I'm a pen and paper person, but I enjoy the electronics too. I like to have like a list electronically because then you're not going to lose it and whatever. But I like to physically write. So this is the best of both worlds, and I've been having a time. I'm living
If
my best life
Brooke was
making this
born a
packing
couple
list.
years later, like she would have been an iPad kid to her core,
Yeah.
fully,
Yeah. No, I'm loving it. Live,
or an
laugh,
iPad
love.
toddler.
iPad kids. But anywhozer, as I was organizing today, in like my room and my office, whatever, I was starting to listen to Giggly Squad because I was like catching up on their podcast. I was behind. And I just was like playing it off the speaker of my phone. And then I'm like, well, I'm being an idiot because I'm walking in and out of
Right.
rooms and then I can't hear it. And then I'm like carrying my phone around. So I put on my new headphones. Because like I don't really know where my AirPods are right now. They're somewhere in the depths, but like my headphones were out. So like
MIA, missing in action.
look.
Shocker.
they're probably just in the drawer somewhere.
Look, say St. Anthony.
St. Anthony has my back. I have no worries about
No
that.
qualms, yeah.
No qualms about that. But I put on the headphones, and so then I'm like, you know, walking around doing my
Bopping 'em,
organizing,
bopping
whatever.
around.
But I had to turn off the spatial awareness or turn off the noise canceling because that like freaks me out when I'm like walking around and the noise canceling is on. Like I'm like I can't do that. I have to have like the awareness on or whatever. So
Okay.
I literally am walking around. I'm literally sound like I'm stomping around like a fucking ogre with these headphones on. Like, have you ever experienced that?
Now you're truly an iPad kid because between the headphones
I
and the
know.
pencil, like you're done.
No, literally,
You're
I
done.
was hearing my footsteps echo in my ears as I'm like walking around. I'm like, is
I
this
also
a
sound
prank?
like that in my house no matter what. Like I'm walking around like I'm an actual 600. I'm on 600-pound life.
Yeah.
Truly.
No, same. I mean, everyone knows when I'm coming because they hear the stomps, but it was just a whole new level to like hear them genuinely echoing in my
Echoing
ears.
there. Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Well, I mean,
Love that.
speaking of Giggly Squad,
Oh,
right? So
yes.
it's been a travesty this week.
absolute travesty.
on the socials, hearing about the
It's
devastating breakup of Paige and Craig.
yeah. It's sad. It's sad. And you know, I can't say I'm surprised
No.
because their paths from the get-go were going different ways. I mean, Craig has always been in Charleston, Paige has always been
Right.
in New York. Both of them are very rooted there. So it's
But
like,
here's the narrative that I'm not enjoying.
okay, what is it?
That Paige has led him on for 3 years.
No, 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 no.
This man had
No.
full autonomy to say at any point in time if he felt like he was wasting his time or she was not ready for the next step, like engagement, moving, or kids, that he had full ability to step away from that relationship. She didn't have a gun to
100%.
his head saying, you have to stay with me.
Yeah.
No one was forcing him to be with her.
100% agree. I actually just was watching an episode of Southern Charm,
Yes.
and they just showed Craig freezing his sperm. First of all, never heard of that happening in my life. I only thought that you froze eggs. So, Craig, a freaking king for being
king.
biologically responsible and freezing your sperm.
But I thought men
what a
produce
gem.
sperm like into their old age.
Okay, so here's
Like,
why
what's the vibe?
I also love him because he's like, oh well, what if like I get in a car accident and then I'm not able to like produce sperm? Sad. He's like
Okay.
actually that passionate about having children. But here's the thing too is his two friends, which I don't think you know, like they're my friends.
2 friends. He's got 2 friends.
His two
My
friends,
2 friends.
Shep and Austin.
Yes, I know them.
Were okay. Well, I'm just
Austin,
saying.
that fuckface. I hate him.
I will never forget the best line. I don't know who said it, but it was like, "Why is everyone fighting over this Honda Civic of a man?" I was like, that
Honda Civic is the best way to describe that human being.
right? Like,
Raise your hand if you
spot
agree
on.
that Austin is a Honda Civic
Yeah,
in man
I
form.
don't know who said it originally. I feel like it. I don't know. It was
We
someone
need
in
to
Bravo.
give them
I
their
feel.
flowers because that's an amazing comment.
Yeah, no, I think it was like maybe on Watch What Happens Live or something. Like it was.
Possibly.
I think it was someone legit who said it. So
Yeah,
anyway.
legit, certified.
Right. Verified. Blue check. But any hooser, Austin and Shep were like, oh, well, that's totally like he's just doing whatever Paige wants. Basically, they were saying like, oh, you know, he's wanted kids forever and like now he's all lax about this timeline and blah, blah, blah. But Craig was sitting there saying like, well, when you find the right person, you're willing to compromise on these things.
Correct.
And 1000%. And it's not like Paige wasn't making compromises either because she was like in Charleston. They were kind of
Filming.
and they were like making the house together, like decorating it together, and like he was doing things with her input because she was really, I feel, she was really trying to picture her life there.
But then when you're trying so hard to make a square peg fit into a round hole, that's when you know it's just unfortunately not the right person. They could be an amazing guy or girl and could like check all the boxes like in your head that you are looking for. But if it doesn't feel right, that's okay. And that's what I'm obsessed with the most recent episode
Yes.
of Giggly Squad because
I did
she
listen to that.
has just you could go to a therapist and a therapist can look at you and say there's no timelines, you don't have to worry about it, you're okay, like don't stress as a female. But society, no matter what, puts pressure on us to have this time, like whatever arbitrary timeline for our life of when you're gonna settle down and get married and have children. And we talked about this a little bit before. But this podcast single-handedly reaches so many women of actually a pretty wide span of ages.
Yeah, I
Early
would agree.
20s into probably 40s.
Yeah.
And she just eased everyone's anxieties. Because if she
1000%.
can get online and say, it's okay to not know where you're headed at 32 as a female, that just like closed the book on all of like the, again, you can go seek out professional help to like sort through these issues that you're having,
feel free.
but truly like she is doing the Lord's work right now because it has just made me, and I'm not even like that close, I'm close to 30.
Not really. No.
little close.
But here's the
But,
thing
like-
is everyone's like, "Oh, you're almost 30. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm 20
Yeah.
fucking 5.
Yeah.
Let's pump the brakes. I am nowhere near needing anything.
Nope.
I don't need
Nope.
shit. I have everything that I need. I
But
have a
for
job,
her-
I have family, I have friends, right? And it's this pressure constantly. So I agree.
But for her to have the confidence at 32 to say this just doesn't feel right and I'm totally okay with moving on and not just settling.
Yeah.
Boom. Hats off to her because I'm obsessed.
Bravo, fucking bravo. Has
Amazing.
many meanings in that.
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
But
So
sad for her, and you know, she
she's just set Craig up so well for like being an eligible bachelor. Like,
Oh my God.
women are going to be seeking him out. She spoke glowingly about him.
I mean, I'm about to swan dive over to Charleston right now.
If you're ready,
You know what?
no
I'm
need
gonna
to freeze the sperm.
You know what? I'm gonna be there in a couple months.
Yes.
So I'll just, seek
Going
him
down
out. I'll just
south.
pop in the shop like, hey, can you have
Go to
my
his bar.
skirt? Yeah.
Right? Go to his bar. So
Yes. Definitely plan on doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be heading to Charleston actually for one of my best friend's weddings. Well, not for her wedding, for her bachelorette party.
Bachelorette.
So speaking of friendships, without further ado, this episode is going to be about navigating friendships,
Yes.
specifically in your 20s, but throughout your life.
We're also going to discuss the hallmarks of a good, successful, long-term friendship, and
Because I feel we are experts
we
on
are
that
experts.
topic.
What are we on? 23 years?
If I had to calculate it, yeah,
Gotta do
probably.
the math, carry the 1, and
Yeah.
23.
Probably. But
So we have a lot to dive into here.
For most of our lives, we have been friends. Since I was 2, Erica was 3.
Mhm.
So I think we are equipped to speak on this topic.
Extremely certified, verified.
Well, I think let's start out by talking about why we think our friendship has stood the test of time.
For sure.
Because, if I will say it has stood the test of time and will stand the test of time, because if we made it fucking 23 years, you're stuck.
I think there's some weird thread out there that's like, if your friendship lasts 7 years, then it's going to last a lifetime.
I think that's a little short,
Which-
honestly.
That has proven to not be true.
Yeah.
But I think 23 far surpasses. I think we're
Yeah.
Gucci.
I
on
think
that,
we're
right?
good on that
Okay.
one. Yes,
Cool.
yes. Yeah.
So in terms of our friendship, I think one of the keys to success for us has been, and we've talked about this a little bit maybe in the first episode, about growing in a similar direction. That's not to say that
Yes.
we do everything the same in our lives since the
Right.
beginning of time, but we have definitely grown in a similar direction over the years
Yeah.
and had similar interests and similar wants and desires, and that really did stem from our upbringing. So we had similar morals and values in our childhood that were
Yes.
instilled in us that, again, kind of just directed us in the same path as
Yeah.
we've grown older,
I
which has helped.
100% agree with that. I think we were raised in very similar households, and that was the perfect way to describe it.
It's not to say that you can't have a good friendship with someone who comes from a different background as you. It's just that for us, that has been a key pillar
Yes,
in longevity.
1000%. Well, I think that set us up for success, right? Because from inception, our parents were similar. So we were, again, when you're so young, you're hanging out with your parents. Like your mom's not dropping you off at someone's house for a play date. So it was very much involved in the family. So that served us well in order to be able to be friends at such a young age. And then from there, I mean, my thought process when I sit down and think about our friendship was we have stayed friends regardless of stage of life. So I think you put it well to say like that we've grown in the same direction, but that's also not to say that we don't have differences, right? In our
Totally.
life stages and stuff. And that takes effort. Whereas I'm thinking back, I'm like, no, we haven't always been at the same stage. Right now we're at the same
No.
stage, but we're about to not be in the same stage, right?
Correct.
Because you're moving out, I'm still living at home.
Correct.
But we've also had periods where I had a boyfriend, you didn't. That didn't change our friendship. Just like
Right.
you moving isn't going to change our friendship because we have that unspoken agreement of we both put 100% effort
Yeah.
into our friendship.
That, and also, it's not to say that it's been this easy road either, right?
No.
Because Brooke mentioned about our parents being friends, and then my parents did get divorced.
Right.
So that was a huge rift and could have led to us maybe not being as close because then we didn't have that same familial connection,
Totally.
or family friend connection, however you want to call it.
Right.
But it didn't matter because
At that
we
point-
were already established
Yes.
as friends. It didn't matter whether that
Yep.
it wasn't really even a factor anymore.
Yeah.
But
At that point, we had already taken our friendship to an individual level. Yes,
Right.
our parents were still friends, but our friendship didn't depend on our
That.
parents being friends.
correct.
Again, they are all still friends and friendly, so
Yeah.
that's not a qualm. But
Yeah, no, so I think that's been huge. And also just our ability to have open communication.
100%.
We are, I mean, this is not to say that we do not get in arguments or don't have differences or don't have disagreements on things. We absolutely do, but we just never feel afraid to speak about it
Nope.
or to bring it up or to have a conversation because we know that A, we will be respected by the other one. And this sounds so formal, but just like, it's true. If
It
you feel
is.
comfortable bringing that up
That's-
to someone, hey, I don't like that you did this, or I'm a little disappointed that you did this, or I'm upset about that you didn't stick up for me with this. And that's where we have really grown a lot over the years.
We
And
have.
it takes work. It's not an easy thing to do.
No.
But-
But you know what? We've, again, grown to make each other feel comfortable to have those conversations. And now it's like, no, I'm not going to think twice. If something bothers me, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Instead of harboring it, letting it fester, and then it comes out in some other petty way.
Right.
And then it's causing a whole other issue instead of actually just handling what it was that upset you in the first place.
Yeah.
So we definitely have done a good job of that over the years. And it took us time, but I feel we have like...
We still work on it. There's
Yeah.
still times where I feel myself, I'm like, no, why would I act like that? Or why would I feel that way? There's no reason to. Like, we have an open line of communication at all given points of time.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. That's honestly the first thing that came to mind when I was sitting down thinking about what are the key factors that have led to our longevity of a friendship, and honesty. That's the first thing,
Yes.
because we are just always honest with each other. Whether you're saying, does this outfit look good? And I say, no, take it off.
Brooke was ordering this, in my opinion, really heinous workout dress on Amazon. And sure enough, she orders it, she tries it on, and she didn't like it. I could have
Okay,
told
but-
you weren't going to like
But
it.
it wasn't because of the reason that you said. Okay. She said
Fair.
it was a shit brown color. And I
It
said,
was
no.
shit brown.
No, but no, you actually said first that it was going to blend with my skin. And I said, do I look like I'm brown? I'm actually a fucking sheet of paper white right now because I'm so pale. But anyway, I
Well,
just,
a little
I'm a little
self-tanner.
rotund right now. So it did not flatter my shape.
That's not why I thought it wasn't going
I
to
know.
look good.
So,
However,
yeah. You were right in that I didn't like it, but not for that reason. But anyway.
all I'm hearing is that Erica was right, period.
Yeah,
So
whatever. Whatever.
anyway,
fine.
but this is how we are. I'm not going to
Yeah.
sit there and whatever tell you everything's peachy if it's not, or
Right.
about any topics, not just fashion choices.
Right. Yes.
But yeah,
For sure. And I think that stems into other relationships, right? Because I hold you to a high standard of like opinions of boyfriends and opinions of like when you were looking at apartments, like you're sending me apartments and like asking my opinion, like because we're so honest with each other, we know that we can trust each other for an opinion on anything. And
Yeah.
I'm going to get a straight answer. It's not going to be bullshit of what you think you want to hear.
that is the problem with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And why friendships dissolve.
Yes.
Because you can sit here and say, I can tell you whatever you want to hear. But if that's not really how I feel, or if it's not what I think is right for you, then ultimately that's just like a lack of
Yeah.
honesty. That's what it goes
It
back
is.
to.
And that's where, like, it's not just about, oh, Erica did something to piss me off and I'm going to tell her. Like, we were talking about this, I think it was the last episode or 2 episodes prior when we were talking about your move. And, like, 2 years ago when we were sitting in the airport and I was like, I need to give it to you straight right now.
Yeah.
You need to cool it because it's not going to happen right now and you're forcing it and you just have to let it happen in your time. And I had to tell you that because I saw you struggling and I felt that you needed to hear it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it helped you so much. I mean, not necessarily, I'm not the fucking Dalai Lama, but I feel like just...
Sometimes.
You know what? Whatever, when the shoe fits. But, you know, I feel like in general, you did, like, eventually, we
Yeah.
talked about this. You
Come to grips.
kind of, like, let go control of it, and then it all worked out in the end and whatever. So it's like those things of you just have to be honest with your friend because then you're doing your friend a disservice. If you're just
Right.
sitting there and, like, watching something go down that, like, isn't good for them, you need to help.
You absolutely have to. So
Help a bitch out.
Literally.
Jesus Christ.
But I feel like you would think these are common sense traits and qualities, but I fear it's not.
You know what? I feel like they're easier said than done.
Yes.
Because, like you said, I feel like the demise of some friendships are because you're saying things that the other person wants to hear. A lot of friendships, I feel like, are built on that, especially in your 20s, right? Because you're meeting someone
Situationally,
randomly. Yep.
yeah.
So you're just kind of feeling them out. And a lot of times when you're meeting in those weird situations, you're just trying to say something to appease the other person to not rock the boat and try
Right.
and just get to know them. But if you're trying to get to know them by saying things that you think they agree with, then they're not going to get to know you, and you're never going to have a good quality
It's
friendship.
just like a relationship. If you start off on a
Right.
premise where you're acting or doing things that are not in alignment with who you really are just to appease that person, it's gonna fucking blow up in your face. It's
Exactly.
inevitable.
Because
Same thing goes for a friendship.
you can only fake it for so long,
Correct.
and then shit blows up.
Correct. But yeah, I think on that note, though, we can talk a little bit about how in our 20s right now, how it is a weird time where maintaining friendships that you've had over the years are difficult because of these different stages of life that people happen to be in
Right.
this 10-year period, but also just it's okay to have friends that aren't like your best friend. It could be people that you meet that's like through work, and you know it's someone that you're gonna go out and get a happy hour drink with, and that you know you're gonna go to the office party with, or that you're gonna go work out with maybe, but it's not someone that is gonna be your best friend forever, and
Right.
that's okay. You don't have to have that.
And I think
So.
that has been our struggle that we've really grown a lot in over the past couple of years. But we fought that tooth and nail because we had kind of, I guess, the same expectations for everyone else
That we had for each other.
And that is the biggest thing that I will say is
Yeah.
navigating relationships in your 20s equals managing expectations. Because you cannot hold everyone to the same standard.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Literally. Yeah. It's so necessary. And I really feel like it tormented us for a while. We
sure.
would, replay the same situations over and over 50 times because we're not realizing that our expectation was just way too high. And it wasn't like that anymore, right? Because people just grow in different directions where we're still growing in the same direction.
But yeah, on that note,
Yeah.
just don't take it that personal. You just can't.
That's a
You
fact.
just can't. I know we do. Again, easier said than done.
Oh, we do.
But we have tried to kind of, again, rewire the brain a little bit.
Yeah.
And say, take myself out of this equation. Stop acting like the world revolves around me and think about it for a second objectively. Oh, wait, it's not all
It's not
about,
about
me.
me.
It's okay. And that's okay.
Right. That's something that my mom said that her mom always told her is whenever you're in a situation and you're upset or whatever, go up in the hot air balloon and look down on your life. And is this the end of the world? Is this the end all be all? No.
No.
It's absolutely not.
Shout out. Nanny.
Shout out Nanny. Yes.
Perfect
But-
advice.
Yeah, nailed it with that. But off of managing expectations, I would also say really paying attention to energy. And what energy do you feel when you're with a certain friend versus another? Do you feel energized? Do you feel drained? Those are important things to pay attention to.
Totally.
And that's something that can also make you reevaluate your relationship with someone else and say, oh, I feel drained when I leave hanging out with them. I need to take a step back and adjust that in my mind.
Right.
So that's another.
Again, or figure out maybe this is a person that I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z with, and I'm going to do something different with them because maybe I still like them, or you realize no, we're not aligned.
Yep.
This is not someone that I want to be friends with, and that's okay. It is okay for you to change your mind at any point. So that is
Absolutely.
the most important thing to remember. As again, we're focusing heavily on the 20s because we can speak from our own experiences, but this is something that you have to remember throughout your entire life, and even with our moms, right?
Yeah.
I know they've experienced a lot of ups and downs and trials and tribulations with so many different friends or friend groups over the course of their adulthood.
Yeah.
And that's what we can at least recollect on because as we're growing up, obviously they've had different, friends and changes over the years. But people that, the saying, a friend for a season, a reason, or a lifetime is so true because there's people that are
is.
going to come in and out that satisfy each of those three different buckets.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's so true. And I feel like we've obviously seen that through, you have childhood/high school friends that come and go, and you have college friends that come and go. And then now in our 20s, it's this gray area, right? But then there's going to be that same filtration system when we...
A Brita.
literally get the Brita. You know what? That takes back to college, man. With the
It
Britas.
does. It
Gotta
does.
love the Britas. Are you gonna have a Brita in your place?
It's built into my fridge.
Thank God.
I mean, I have to.
can't
No,
with
so
that
I
anymore.
have to fill it up still, but it's just already in there for me. I don't have to go buy a Brita. Does that
Okay.
make sense? I guess I have to go to the
It's
sink.
in the.
It's in the inside door of the fridge. There's a
Okay. We can. Live
water thing. Have to fill it up with water. Put it back in, and it filters.
with it. But it's like a little spout.
Correct.
Love a spout. need a spout.
Need a spout.
Absolutely need a spout.
Need a spout.
Anyway, going back to the filtration system.
Yes.
That'll happen again when we have kids and then we're meeting people through our kids because, you know, as the kids grow up, they don't always stay friends. And then what happens when the moms are friends, right? You either, at that same point, again, decide, okay, does this friendship go beyond convenience or,
Yeah.
you know.
Speaks on the situational based friendships. Like that is the reality sometimes.
Yeah.
But, you know,
And
again,
it's never going to go away is my point.
No.
Like you're always going to encounter these same scenarios of having to evaluate a friendship and what it brings to your life and what it doesn't. And I think just going back to energy, my mom has always said to me, you give what you get. And that's not straight across because you're not just going to go around being an asshole like, oh, well, this person doesn't call me. I'm not going to call them. Like, no. But if you get to a certain point in a friendship where you're evaluating and you're feeling some type of way, you need to take a step back and say, hold on, I'm going to give what I'm getting from them. Because why should you give 110% when they're giving, you know, 10%?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Whoa, you went straight to hell with that number.
That math absolutely didn't math.
No. I mean, and that's where, as again, we're talking about navigating or managing expectations in this phase. And that's with new people we're meeting as well as old friends that we have.
Yeah.
And so a big part of that is, I think, you know, I'll go back to high school time.
Yeah.
A lot of people that we were really close with, it's like, we did everything together. It was, let's go to school together. Okay. And we're also in the same classes together. Oh, wait. And then we're doing extracurriculars together after school. Oh, wait. Then we're circling around the same friend group. So we're going to parties together or we're doing all these other outside things together. And it's like, well, no shit, we were so close because we didn't have any separation ever at any point in time.
I feel like you're opening my eyes right now a little bit.
Am I?
Yeah. Because I never thought about it like that. But it was very convenient.
It was convenient.
And why wouldn't we be close? Because we were connected at the asshole.
It was
for
connected at the asshole.
How many years?
Correct. But that's where, okay, moving on to the next phase, college, right? So some of those people, naturally there was separation. Even us too. Like Brooke will tell you, I would like go on a bender for a week and not speak to like anyone. It was like, hi, where are you?
I was like actually so sad.
I know, and I felt bad because you were.
But then
Brooke was younger than me, so she was in high school. It was like a whole thing.
But then once I got to college, I got it, and I was like, oh, I understand.
You just become so unfortunately like absorbed in what you're doing that you're like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta check in on my friends and people from home and here and there.
Yes. And again, that's a learning process. Yeah.
You're learning. So then in college, there's natural separation that's taking place, right? So those people that you know from home, or you're just not going to be as connected with them because naturally, distance.
Physically, you're not
physical
connected.
Distance. But then, post-college, then that's where it's like, okay, are people moving back home? Are they not? Are they staying where they were in college? Are they moving to a different city? Like, what's going on there? And then that's where things really started to dissolve more and just get a little bit more granular of like, okay, here's people that I'm still going to stay connected with despite our location.
Yep.
And that's people from high school and college. Now you picked up more people in your packet that you have to worry about and kind of figure it out with.
Yeah. Well, that's where the effort comes in. You have to mutually, decide between you and your friends. Not like you're sitting down like, okay, are we going to stay in touch? Like, no, that's not what I mean.
Well, we joke.
But you have to make an effort, right?
We joke because a lot of my college friends now are like, wait a minute, we have to plan 6 months out to make you've been saying this too. We have to plan so far out to make a time to meet up to hang out. It's like, we used to walk down the hallway and go into your room and be done. And like, that was it. Like, it was just
actually depresso. But no, it's true. I actually have quarterly hangouts, weekends scheduled with my
quarterly
long distance
reviews.
Friends because there's no other way. Because if you wait until, you can't wait until the week of. Like for most people, again, when you don't have the blessing of location geographically being close. I said that back ass.
It's okay. We know. We got you.
We get it. You can't just call someone up and be like, hey, do you want to hang out tonight?
Can't just call Taylor up. And I don't know that TikTok.
No, I don't know that one. Because I'm Patrick Star.
Same shit, different day.
Anyway, those are our tips for navigating friendships and relationships in your 20s because it's wild out here and it's going to take you through, the rest of your life.
It's the Wild Wild West.
It's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
God bless us, seriously.
God bless
Each and everyone.
Everyone. But we do have one little segment for today that we thought would be fun. So let's dive into like do's and don'ts of
Yes.
friendship. So like I would arguably say pillars of a good friend.
Okay. When you know if you've got like a true homie or when it's like kind of a flakester.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
So would you leave your friend behind if they do not have TSA pre-check at the airport?
I will not do that.
I wouldn't either. And you know, I at first like
Gina, don't worry, we're not leaving you behind
Yeah, we're
in TSA regular line. We'll tough it out with you.
Yes,
for our trip.
We're not going to leave you, Gina. And you know, I feel it's situational, right? Because there was one
It
time
is.
that when we went to Nashville, me and you went through TSA pre-check, and Lizzie and Alexa went through regular.
She had a
When you have a buddy,
co-partner, yeah.
it's fine. But I'm not going to leave someone by themselves.
Correct.
Like no, because you
Yeah.
just don't know, right? I mean, my dad, on the other hand, bye.
That mofo in
My
this friggin' clear.
God.
Doesn't he have clear?
Yeah, he had now. Before
Now
we
he's gotten
before we went to California, I was like, Joseph, I'm making the fucking appointment for you. Get the TSA pre-check because
I made my family get TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
Also, let's gatekeep that. Seriously, don't.
yeah,
tell me.
actually, don't get it. It's overrated.
It's actually like the line.
It's
weight
not
is
really
the
worth
same.
it. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Anyway,
All
so
right.
next.
And I'm curious to see what you're gonna say about this because I know
Okay.
like what the right answer is,
Yeah.
but I want to know
The truth.
the truth.
Okay.
You and your friend are out, whether you're with a group or just the two of you, and you see a hot guy at the bar, and you both are like, this guy's cute. Like you both you're both attracted to this man. Do you try to beat your friend to the punch and go for it and like talk to them? Option 1.
Okay.
Option 2. Do you discuss it with your friend and like then maybe you let your friend have it? Or option 3, you both don't go for the guy. Out of respect.
I'm actually going to say option 4. You both go into it, both chat it up, and see who hits it off
You have a
better.
competition?
No. You just
Fair though.
you just feel it out, right? You can feel the vibes of like who's gonna vibe better. Like I feel like I've done this many times. So
Yeah.
I would option 4.
Option
that
4.
didn't exist, but yeah,
A, B, C, D.
that would be
Okay.
just roll the dice.
All right. No, that's fair. That way you can at least like let
Let fate decide.
fate. Fate has entered the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Next, I feel this is obvious, but if someone doesn't do this, they're fake. Do you tell your friend if there's something on their face, something in their teeth, etc.?
No, I'm gonna let you walk around like a jerk off with friggin' salad in your teeth.
Exactly.
No.
But some people don't.
Well, then
some-
they fucking hate you.
Exactly.
They actually hate you.
Like, what if you have a bat in the cave? You think I'm going to let you walk around like that? Fuck no.
I fear that's common sense, but again,
Sometimes you
you could
just
have
don't
some
know.
secretive haters. You could.
Yeah, you could.
You
Or
could have
like,
some people preying on your downfall.
you know, that could be the hallmark of like if you're meeting someone and they're relatively a new friend, and if they point that out and they're like, hey, by the way, you have something on your teeth, like, okay, I'm going to keep you around. You know, like you just earn
Yeah.
some trust.
Yeah, you've earned a gold star.
Yeah.
On your sheet there. Lovely.
Do you have
This
anything
is-
else? Okay.
It's stupid, but
That's okay.
there's a bottle of wine on the table. Who knows how many glasses you've had each, and you could be with a group of people again, or this could just be the two of you, and there's like one glass of wine approximately left in the bottle. Are you going for it? Are you offering it to your friend? Are you splitting it?
I feel I'm splitting it. However, that depends on the situation, right? Like if it's the two
Yes,
of us,
it
like
is situational. Both of mine were situational.
yeah,
based questions,
which I
so.
mean everything is, right?
Yeah.
So were mine. But I feel if you're with a group, that's kind of like fair game. Like fuck it, I'm taking
Fuck
it
you,
for
yeah.
myself. Before anyone else can get it. But if it's just the two of you, I
Survival
feel
of
like
the
when it's the
fittest.
two of us, we kind of
We'll share.
we'll evenly.
We even it out.
Yeah. As even as we can be.
Absolutely.
But
We do
that's my
love
take
our
on
wine,
that.
though.
Yeah.
Shout out
I
Aveline.
will shout out Aveline. I actually have a bottle chilling
We're
in the
actually
fridge.
going to drink a full bottle of it right now.
Yeah, at dinner.
After this.
I had. Oh, this is actually fitting. My other thing was if you are out, and it's kind of like a two-parter because I feel like they're the same in my
Okay.
head. So if you both order a different drink and your friend is like, oh, like, oh, can I try that? Like, I've never had it before. Like, do you share your drink? Slash, if your friend is in need of lip gloss, do you share?
Yeah, unless you have literal herpes.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we're not friends with people who have herpes.
I mean, you
never
never
fucking
know.
know.
You never know. But if I'm aware that you do, then
Well, yeah.
less
obviously-
hesitant.
Well, I mean, if someone has a raging cold sore, like, no. But I mean, like,
No, and yes, I absolutely. I'm a sharer. Sharing is caring.
I'm a giver.
I'm a giver. Oh my
Oh,
god.
man.
Yeah, no, that's I'll be sharing.
Yeah, agree. I feel like some people, I mean, some people like get weird with that, but I feel like all of my friends were like, yeah.
If you just, I notice you really like my lipstick and you keep asking me for it, then I just fucking buy you one.
Right.
So, and say, here you go, put it in your pocket.
Exactly.
Save it for later.
Exactly. Yes, correct. But yeah, so we are going to go crack open our bottle of Aveline. We're going to a BYOB restaurant, and we tried to go there a couple of weeks ago, and we like literally are driving to the place. I'm like, oh, let me just check their hours, make sure they're not closing soon. Absolutely closed for the night. They were not even open.
Not even open for the entire day. It was shut down. It was right after Christmas, though, which could have been why. But regardless, we need to go do this now.
Yeah. So we're going to go enjoy a nice meal with
are.
our wine. So I hope that you are doing the same, honestly, because you deserve it.
Crack open a cold one.
Crack open a cold one and cheers your bestie because it's just not that serious. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.